right, I thought I'd take this time to talk a little bit about like tone stacking and how to get the most out of your recording that you can using a simple setup like this. And one of the things that I do is I make sure that I'm sort of off to the side of the speaker. So this is pan just a little too much for my light. I want it square. There we go. Now we're square. All right, and so what I do is I sort of guess that no matter where I'm at in this vicinity, and I've already checked the back of it, so I know that the speaker is probably about yay big, but I'm not in the center of it. I'm just off to the right of it. So if I were to draw a straight line, my center would be right about there, and I'm about center with the amp because I'm on that screw. Just about roughly close to, if not exact. So that's kind of how I determine if I want where I want my microphone. About 4 inches away, 3 to 4 inches away is roughly where I like to be for my microphone on my amplifier. Now, if you have the problem like I do and you can't see your grill, just go to the back of your amp. Either if you want to get precise, you can pull the grill cloth off, like on this amplifier, and then replace it, and then put it back and maybe make a little bit of a mark where you think you might want your microphone to be at, and then go from there. The other thing you can do is, and on this amp it doesn't work too good, at least I would probably need the lights off for it to shine through, but if I go from the front here, I can see the speaker if I get right up on it. So I shine in, and then I can see where the speaker is and location, and then I can use my light to kind of determine how big my speaker is. Okay, on this particular amplifier, it kind of sucks because I don't have a full grill cloth in order to actually get to the right or left because this is blocking it. All right, because this is a TV style amp. So what I can do is I can just come right here to the edge of it if I needed to mic it up, and it gives me a pretty good tone that way. All right, now for the second part of this video, I'm going to talk about the how to double stack overdrives. So, all right. Picking up where we left off on the discussion of miking amplifiers and tones. So, as you get more gain into your, or out of your amp into your mic, is also going to depict where you put that microphone at too. So, overdrive pedals, I'm going to show you a graph real quick on overdrives. Okay. And what the difference is between an overdrive and a distortion. So an overdrive is a softer clipping circuit. If you look right here, that blue line, see how it's rounding? That's a rounded sound wave. It is not clipping it off at any given point before it rounds off. And it shapes with the sound. Even at when it comes, so that's at its high point, comes back down, and even at its low point. So it's constantly like this. When we talk about a hard clipping circuit, it's all in how it compresses that guitar signal. So a compressor, the thing about a compressor is that it can compress signal going in and then give it kind of a release point, right? Compress in, release out, or it can be just a full on, I'm going to be over here releasing, right? But I'm going to compress harder here. And changes the waveform of it, creating more sustain or less sustain, getting notes closer together, less string noise ringing out between notes. Point of a compressor. I get it. I hate them. Unless I was playing funk. If I'm playing funk, or if I was like a really good hybrid picker, which I'm not. Okay, barely play guitar. Like hybrid picking is not really that's not my forte of things that I'll be good at, right? So like hard clip, like I don't have any use for a compressor. And not only that, when you use a ton of overdrive, you're compressing the signal too. So what's happening is that you're clipping off that waveform, and your sustain is automatically going to be longer. Okay. Now where that gets iffy and where we can be like, well, what happens like with the fuzz when it just clips it off? Well, that's because it's compressing it that much. It's compressing it really at the high point, a lot, clipping that circuit, making it just that staticky kind of farty fuzz that we like, and then clipping it off, and then the signal just drops. Like it's done, right? And I demonstrated this with the kilt whenever I would let it just die out. Okay, that is a hard clipping up both sides of the circuit. Okay, so that is kind of the difference between a nice overdrive, compression, overall sound versus a just clipping it off. Okay, so I have the compressor on right now, compressing my vocals. I'm about to turn it off. Now, my signal has dropped substantially and I'm no longer compressing. I'd have to raise the gain up in order for you to hear me. Okay, now I'm compressing. And if I turn it up louder than that, I'm going to start clipping, overdriving my tone. Okay? But if I turn on my compressor, now I'm sustaining out longer. My volume is raised. It's the same way with an overdrive pedal. Mind blown, right? So, when we talk about overdrive pedals, we're also talking about natural tones of the breakup. Okay. Now, I showed you where the waveform was at, where the blue line kind of sort of didn't quite get to the same waveform as the red line. So what we're going to do is we're going to pretend that this graph that I have up right now is our overdrive tone. Okay. And what's happening is that the wavelength at the top, right? That is our headroom. We need that headroom to be brought down to a level that we can overdrive at. So in order to do that, the red line has to come up. But mind you, we're not going to have to get it to that point on the amplifier to where it has to overdrive because we're here. We're overdriving here. We're not overdriving here, right? So our headroom has dropped significantly, giving us amp-like tones. Ta-da! So now we have our amp-like feel, okay? So the overdrive is giving us all these catchphrases, that warm, that transparent, that punchy, that just real nice kind of soft overdrive that we love so dearly. We're now doing it because we have an overdrive pedal. If we didn't have an overdrive pedal, we'd be cranking this thing and everybody in the neighborhood would be like, please turn it down, right? Like the wife would be pulling her hair out. It would be bad. So that is the purpose of an overdrive. Now a distortion pedal, I think I'm going to leave that one open for another day. Distortion and fuzzes, that really gets into the weeds a lot. But as we go up in gain, just know that your volume sometimes, right, depends on the amplifier too. But most of the time when we start talking about harder clipping circuits, we get a lot more volume out of it. Okay. Also, as we add overdrives, our first gain stage rounds off. Okay. Overdrive going into a boost, you keep that hard clipping. If you put boost into overdrive, you're going to round it off and you're going to lose your headroom. You're going to lose your drive tone. You're going to gain volume, but you're going to lose your drive tone. And I'm about to explain that here in a second. More in depth whenever I can have a guitar in my hands. There we go. All right, so get organized here a little bit. This is only like my 100th time doing this video. It's fine though. Cut, paste, edit, do some more. It's fun. It's all fun. It's all fun stuff. All right. So. All right, there we go. We got a guitar tone. All right, just making sure I didn't kill the amp. Okay, so. I'm a firm believer, and I've been a firm believer of this for years. High gain into low gain. Okay? So, high gain into low gain gives you two things. A, more gain. B, more control over your gain with your guitar volume and your tone control. Okay? I know people do this opposite sometimes, and that's fine. Everyone has their own way of doing stuff. Everyone has their own way of doing things, and I'm totally okay with this. I think that it's fantastic. I think however you want to do it is however you want to do it. And that's fine. I'm not here to knock anybody's, but for me, and the way I like it, I like high gain into low gain. So, here we go. I have a little bit of reverb. And I'm going to cut that mic out. That is the clean tone. Low gain. Sorry, I got out of tune a little bit there. And so high gain into low gain, right? Makes sense. All right, so now I'm going to take low gain. Sorry. Yeah, I'm going to take low gain into high gain. So I'm going to boost the high gain with it in front of it. And I don't personally like how this sounds. And just for the record, both of these pedals are really closely related. I have my board set up with a dual overdrive where I basically have it set up high gain to low gain, so high into boost. That's how I like it, but I have both gains stacked. So I don't really have a boost. I have it like one overdriving the other, just a little more overdriving. So like a lot of overdrive versus like halfway overdrive with a lot of tone sweep. So it's pretty woolly whenever I play. But that's how I do it. Whatever. It works. So let's go high gain, low gain, tone. Okay, so yeah, I mean, both are good, right? I think so. We'll see how the video turns out. I am posting this regardless, to be quite honest. I've worked on it all day. I did take some advice. Turn the reverb down, which I figured out what the problem was. The slap back up too high. And killing this vocal mic has made a lot of big difference. So, all right, there you have it.